Hi, I'm Lori Pickens, a photographer and photo educator. I'm passionate about helping photographers just like you get profitable and productive in their own businesses. As a mom to 3 kiddos, I know how hard it can be to juggle all the demands of life. But I also know that it's possible to have a successful business and a happy family. And that's why I created Photo Goals, a podcast for creative business owners who want to learn tangible steps to automate their business through workflows, systems, tools, and strategy in order to go from scattered to streamlined with purpose. On each episode, I'll share simple, actionable strategies and systems that photographers at every level of experience can use. No fluff, just the good stuff. I can't wait to help you achieve your photography goals. Let's do this. Whether you're shooting quick mini sessions that are back-to-back, or if you're like me and you do school photography, there are times where you need to have some handy tricks to get engagement and results from kids in a quick time frame. So today we're going to be sharing some of my favorite tips for getting smiles and cooperation from kiddos. My first tip is to match the energy that you want them to have. If you want them to be silly and happy, you need to be super giggly and energetic. At a school, they may be used to having to be quiet in certain settings, or even at a family mini session. Maybe mom on the way there warned them, be on your best behavior, and have created that sense of stress already on them. Sometimes you have to let them see that you are there to have fun and be playful. And in the same way that if they're being wild and all over the place, you may need to calm your own energy down and speak in a more slow and quiet tone to kind of give them that that's the vibe that we're going for. And hey, you need to match my energy level. The next tip that I love to do, I always say, is that you need to give them something to do with their hands. Wiggly kiddos can get awkward or have their arms all over the place. If you give them very specific instructions, it can flip them, help make them feel like they know what to do. Quite honestly, adults love this too. It's the whole, I don't know what to do with my hands thing. We're holding them up awkwardly. So some examples that I use with kids is I say things like, can you put both hands on your lap like a little princess? Or can you put just your thumbs in your pockets? This is my rule for all people, as I say, fingers and thumbs, but not both. That kind of avoids that missing hand compositional problem. So if I tell little kiddos, put just your thumbs in your pockets, that's something that they can concentrate and do. And then sometimes they even get this big smile, especially from little kids when they figure out, hey, this is my thumb and it does fit in this nice little sleeve. Another example is, can you hold the middle of your skirt softly? A little girl can hold just the middle edge of it, almost like she's delicately pinching it. Another tip is that with kids, you really have to simplify your words. Depending on the age of the kids, you might also need to reword the way that you give instructions. Sometimes I ask my kids to cross their ankles, especially if they're sitting with their legs spread wide open, or if they have their legs awkwardly crossed, like really high up the knee. And I can almost immediately tell if they're hesitating or if they're not sure that they may not remember what ankles are or, they're nervous or things like that. And it's just not registering to them what I'm asking them to do or even how to cross them. So I can say, can you put one shoe across the other one like this and actually show them what I want them to do? So another example is, sometimes if you say, can I sit up straight? And they either don't understand or they do it very awkwardly. I like to say things like, can you stretch your belly up tall? And, they just using language that they're familiar with and that is going to make them feel comfortable and understand what it is that you're asking them to do. Another thing that is very important for quick little sessions like this is to remove, and this is in air quotes, helpful distractions. If you have a mom or another adult that's 10 feet on either side of you that is helping to make their child tear up or, putting their hands in their cheeks, this like, smile, you can feel free to give them instructions too. If by chance they do get him or her to smile, they're going to be looking off in the wrong direction at that helpful adult off to the side. And, it may not even be what you're trying to accomplish anyway. So I don't hesitate to give them a quick, hey, that's so great. Do you think you could come over here and do that right on top of my head? That is, if the thing is actually helping and you're wanting them to do it just in the direction that you need. I will often even lean over down a little bit so that they actually realize that I mean literally on top of my head. I find this a lot with like older siblings if they're trying to help me get the kid to smile or look that direction. And sometimes that can work great. Sometimes big brothers know exactly what that little brother needs to find funny or to make him laugh. But I need him to do it where I am. I need him to do it where the camera is if I'm trying to get that face-to-face camera interaction. Next idea is that you want to avoid clenched poses or smiles. If they get too stiff or awkward, I'll ask them to shake out their shoulders or to get loosey-goosey for me. If they are stuck in like a hard cheese smile, one thing I like to have them do is to do a sad face and completely reset. Or sometimes I even rapid fire like sad face, silly face, happy face, and just kind of shoot through it. So they're not ever getting stuck in one locked on, clenched face with their teeth. Sometimes I ask them to do a sweet smile and then usually a big happy smile. So anything to keep moving them through instructions and prevent them from getting stuck in this mechanical pose is what you're trying to avoid. One of the most important tips that I can give is to make a genuine connection. If they're intimidated, if they don't know you, maybe move the camera away from yourself and ask them about their favorite show. Ask them if they have pets or siblings at home. Show them that you are interested in what they are going to tell you. I know it can be hard when you're in this stressful situation or if you're behind schedule or, you're trying to get this reaction from them quickly so you can go to the next mini session or you can go to the next kid. But you have to remember that they are still kids and kindness can go a long way. And you're probably going to get better results if you genuinely try to get them to talk about something that interests them, to make them feel like you're not just this robot here that's there to stick a big camera in their face, that they can be silly with you, that they can tell you about their dog and silly name or anything that it is. And you're probably still going to get results faster than if you stayed rigid and to your schedule and do this, sit there, do that. You have to be that kind presence and that fun energy that you're wanting them to give back to you. So I know this is quick and easy, but I hope that these help. I'd love to hear if you guys have any ideas or tricks up your sleeve that you think would be great to share with others. And let me know if any of these ideas resonate with you, or maybe you've been in a session and you're like, that's why they didn't understand what ankles were. And this was a great way maybe to communicate that better, or even just things that you can add to your own vocabulary that are going to eventually start coming out second nature, and that you learn to read a kid and maybe the energy in the room or how the moms are feeling or teachers are feeling. And just with time, those things come and you're going to become more natural and you can kind of learn what works and what doesn't. And I hope that you get some great shots of the kiddos and that these have helped you today. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Boda Goals. If you enjoyed this content, it would mean the world to me if you left a review or send this to your business bestie. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss the next episode. And as always, check out the show notes for links to all my resources and info. And as I tell my kids every day, be kind and make good choices.
Thanks for listening to Guiding Leader of You.